Welcome to the 3-minute series. This is unit number 5 on contact. Contact's a very important topic in Gestalt because contact describes one of the 4 pillars, which is, we say, dialogue or relationship. So contact, we're interested in what we call good contact, which means meeting at the boundary, which means meeting at difference, which is me meeting you, not trying to obliterate differences, not running away from differences, not trying to impose myself on you, but really meeting you. And when there's a high quality meeting, that in itself can become quite transformative. So what do we mean by good contact? Well, in terms of, psychotherapeutic frameworks, we use I language. I talk about myself and my experience, and then I ask you about your experience. That helps clarify the boundary. In Gestalt, there's an avoidance of the word we because it does tend to blur things, or saying you when I mean I. Now, these are basic elements that are often part of psychotherapeutic processes. In Gestalt, though, we're particularly interested in paying attention to how people make contact. So when they come in the room, do they bound in the room with lots of energy and a loud voice? Or do they have a little quiet mouse voice that, we've got to lean in to hear? All these give us clues in the present about how the person makes contact with the environment, with the people in it, in the case of therapy with me. So my experience of contact with them is likely to reflect the kind of contact they have with other people. So I can quickly diagnose in an experiential and interpersonal sense what's happening with this person in terms of contact. Recently I worked with a client who had alternated between a very loud voice in which he was very dominating and opinionated, and then he would go to a very soft voice where he was kind of humble but hardly having an impact. So we can see there the fluctuations of the kind of contact that was going on. When he was in his booming voice, he was a little bit intimidating. My tendency was to tense up and experience kind of being lectured by him. When he had a soft voice, I had to lean in and I could barely have a sense of his presence. So we bring awareness, as we do to everything else, to the way that someone makes contact. And we also support them to modulate that, to explore different kinds of contact with this fellow, to find somewhere in between the huge booming voice and the very quiet voice, so that we could have a contact that was more like a meeting between kind of 2 equals or something. So we play with contact, we explore contact, we experiment with contact, we always experiment with these things, and we particularly pay attention to how the person makes contact in the present, because they can tell us about their lives, they can tell us about the things that go wrong in relationship, but that's always secondhand. It's our actual experience of contact with them that really informs us of how they live out their lives, and the reflection of that back to them with awareness is what helps them explore different modes of contact and therefore finding perhaps a better way of meeting in relationship.